Happy Valentine Day, everyone. It's a day of love. It's a day of relationships. It's a day to recognize who the true love is in your life. I don't have one. Well, I did, but not anymore. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about like top 10 favorite relationships. Maybe some of you I will do that, like favorite, like fictional movie or TV show relationships. Now, instead, and also I should have done that, but I wasn't prepared. Maybe, like next year or something. Anyways, well, it is the lovely day of Valentine's Day. I'm instead going to talk about someone that is as fast as Cupid that should not probably fire an arrow into your heart, likely that you would explode. We're going to talk about The Flash. Not this version. Not the CW version either. We're going back to the 90's Flash series to talk about my top 10 favorite episode of the 90's Flash series. And sure, this is a short-lived, TV series, but it still has a substantial 10 episodes and some that I consider my favorite. So, let's begin the countdown. Let's put on the red suit and join the Scarlet Speedster. And also be sure to take a trip to the Speed Force to the person that you love. And just be careful, because Barry can run faster than a speeding bullet and also a shooting arrow, so just be careful, it's actually Cupid's arrow and not the Flash's arrow. But let's get started and joking out of the way. Happy Valentine's Day, and this is my Valentine's gift to you all. This is my top 10, this is the Lazy Universe top 10 favorite Flash episodes, and just to let people know, this is the 1991 to 92 Flash series, I think, but anyways, 90's Flash series. So, let's begin the countdown. This is the Lazy Universe top 10 favorite Flash episodes. Number 10. Beat the Clock. A longtime jazz singer and jazz performer is on death row for a crime that, believably, he did commit. Or did he? As the Flash tries to figure out, did the jazz legend really commit the murder, or was he just set it up and somebody else did it behind the scenes? As it's not just up to the Flash, it's up to Julius as well, or Julio, to figure out who exactly is doing this crime, and also this has a pretty all-star African-American cast. And by immortal, I really mean that, like, for example, the legendary actor Ken Foray is in this. Yes, Ken fucking Foray is in this as a hitman named Whisper. And one of my personal favorite actresses of all time, Angela Bassett, is even in this as well. So you do have a pretty substantial African-American all-star cast for this series. Beat the Clock is such a great episode. It's greatly written, greatly acted, and it really does go to show you that the Flash has more different range than just being an average crime fighter. Whether you like jazz, you like superheroes, or whatever that your personal flavor may be, please check out the episode Beat the Clock. It's an amazing episode of the Flash series. Number 9. Be My Baby. The Flash joining Parenthood? Who would have thought that the Flash would actually be a father? And who is the mother? Well, that's actually not what happens in this episode. A mother is on the runaway, and I do mean that she's on the runaway away from a man that wants one thing. Turns out what he wants is her child that she has with her. This is a cute episode to really set up like how Flash reacts with children, and John Woodbury's ship and the relationship with the young little girl is something to believe in, and it's quite cute too. But it turns out that the baby is actually financially successful, as in that the baby is a very expensive baby, wanted by one and only the amazing Bryan Cranston. I have to admit, it is a pretty funny episode with a lot happening and a lot behind the scenes, and especially involving a baby. You would think that it's annoying, but it's not. It's a well-written, well-acted episode, and I believe that the reason behind that is probably Bryan Cranston and the rest of the cast who get along so perfectly. So if you want to watch something that's not too serious, but just funny enough and just has the right amount of laughs in it, then please check out Be My Baby from The Flash. Unless you want to be a stinker and have a diaper attached to your face while you wait for the police officers, that's up to you. But you should really check out Be My Baby. It's a fantastic episode. Number 8. Out of Control. A mad scientist is going after homeless people, abducting them, and transforming them into horrific scientific experimentations. The police force and even Barry Allen admit that that's pretty rather strange and a good coincidence that somebody would be attacking and experimenting on homeless people. As it has become another good case of whodunit kind of thing with The Flash, but it's a well-written episode with that having it be about friends personal to The Flash. And funny enough, it's a friend of Tina's who actually is the evil mastermind behind this, and her teacher and a friend of her ex-husband. Ah yes, the easiest ways to get into a girl's pants nowadays. Chocolates, flowers, romance, jewelry, abducting and killing your husband, so that way that you fall in love with them a lot faster, and then they do horrific experimentations on people. You know, whatever gets the panties soaking. Alright, and honesty, joking aside, this is a very well done episode, and especially I really do like the creepy atmosphere that the Flash decided to take, and it's all the better for it. Also, the Flash kind of fights the Incredible Hulk, or one of the monsters from that weird Swamp Thing movie. Either way, great and terrific episode. Number 7. Good Night, Central City. Thieveries are happening all over Central City, but that should be nothing new. But the problem is, these thieveries are above anything but normal. As instead of being thieveries, these are the work of a scientist who just so happened to make a very powerful sleep type of device. Goodnight Central City is a kind of goofy episode with a goofy premise about a machine that causes people to fall asleep, but it actually turns about the dangers of what would happen if you fall asleep too fast. Or even worse, what if you fall asleep but you could never wake up, as it goes to show how bad that greed can get for these greedy criminals in this city. As eventually the plan turns dangerous and all of Central City is put straight to sleep, and nobody can stop these rancid criminals and these crimes. While yeah, kind of a goofy episode with a goofy premise and a goofy plot, Goodnight Central City honestly is a great episode just for the way it was brilliantly written. If you have the chance, it is worth checking out, and it is worth one watch through. And you might like it, you might think it's funny, but either way, it's a great Flash episode that I would recommend. Number 6. Ghost in the Machine. The 1950s, everything is on air, everything is fantastic, everything is good. That is until a villain known only as the Ghost starts to strike. As an olden day superhero known only as the Nightshade can bring the Ghost to justice and put a stop to his murderous crimes. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. As Nightshade never apprehended the Ghost, as he goes inside of a freezing chamber to wait for the next year, to wait for a new millennium, to wait it out. Unfortunately, his machine didn't make it, and the machine went out without going to the next millennia. So, he's in the new year. He's in the year of the 1990s. I do like this episode, Ghost in the Machine, because it goes to show you that olden day superheroes can still be awesome even years later. And also, yes, the legendary Jason Bernard was the perfect choice to play Dr. Desmond Powell, as he was a great choice to play an olden age superhero. While people would be like, this is a goofy title episode, Well, it's about a superhero that runs very, very fast. So Goofy is kind of up there, but it also has a superhero team up. And also, I love the way that John Wesley Shipp and Jason Bernard work very well off of each other. They have a great chemistry on the screen, and I would love to see more of this. As this is nothing more than a greatly written episode, and also something about the greatest enemy to us all, time. That time eventually takes its toll on us all. I really do recommend that you guys check out Ghost in the Machine from The Flash. It's a greatly written episode, and I do love the chemistry between John Wesley Shipp and Jason Bernard. Give it a watch.
Dr. Powell. My car. Gladstone bag. Receipt.
Number 5. Double Vision. It's Deal Death Muertos, or Day of the Dead, in Central City. But not everything is going to be peaceful for such a great celebration, such a Day of the Dead. Has come a time of celebration, and celebration comes a time of need, and a time of peace, according to Barry Allen, as it is Barry Allen's indeed birthday. But it won't be a celebration for poor Barry. Oh, no, no, no. As Barry is the hitman, or target for his fellow scientists to take control of him. Yep, Double Vision is all about a supervillain taking control of Barry Allen, taking control of his super speed, and using it against him to do his own nefarious deeds. But, as you'd expect, it does have a toll on Barry's body, only as well as his eyes, and as also as giving him amnesia so he can't remember a damn thing. But it's kind of funny that the Day of the Dead relatives kind of refer to the Flash as being like a god of wind or something that hunts revenge upon Central City. Also, the villain takes control of Barry Allen with a power glove. A fucking power glove!
Hey, John! Get out of here!
Hey! You forgot the power glove!
Oh my god. I made a Freddy Dead the Final Nightmare joke. I suddenly fucking hate Valentine's Day. The one movie that I would probably talk about at some lazy ween, and the worst of the worst of the Friday of the Nightmare on Elm Street film series. This is the worst fucking Valentine's Day ever for me to make that joke. While this is kind of a weird episode, I would really recommend it. Please check out Double Vision. It is a brilliantly written episode, brilliantly acted, and while it is weird, it still is a great episode. Number 4. Alpha. The world is evolving, and unfortunately it's also evolving in the worst of ways by having killer cyborg assassins coming after you. But one robot doesn't want to be an assassin, and that is the one and the lead character of the role, known only as Alpha, who doesn't want anything to happen. Alpha is a terrific episode that really goes to show you that sometimes robots can be oblivious to the obvious, and they can resent and reject their own orders. But unfortunately, sometimes being a robot can have its own dear consequences, and the consequences of these actions can often be very bad. Though I'll admit, though, Alpha is a pretty unique episode for the Flash series to go, and also, yikes with some of the effects it uses. But Alpha is such a great episode. It's a nicely written one, and it's one that anyone and everyone should check out, especially if they haven't checked out the Flash series. It's a great recommendation for you.
She's found your position in the research department. She'll also protect your true identity.
And Rossick and Powers will be too busy explaining how they lost 8 years of data to come after you.
Number 3. Captain Cold. That is an unfortunate heat wave that is heating all of Central City. That Central City is going to be hot in the heart of the city tonight. But there's a new cold villain in town. He is icy as villainous, and his only name is being known as Captain Cold to put the feelings on ice. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger impression aside, Captain Cold is a really cool episode. Pun intended. As Michael Champion is one of my favorite versions of the Captain Cold, and besides, as a Flash sort of mm, fan, I really do like Captain Cold. And also, this episode even has the immortal Jeffrey Combs, one of my favorite actors slash voice actors, so I'm very excited to have him in this episode with Michael Champion. And it's also nice to see how much of a threat that Captain Cold is to the Flash, that, yeah, even the Flash is kind of powerless against such a powerful supervillain. Also, this episode is a really great origin episode for Captain Cold, and also the fight between Captain Cold and the Flash really does make this episode even more better. If you get the chance, and if you're a Flash fan, and if you're a fan of Captain Cold, check out this amazing episode. You will not be disappointed by how damn good that it really is.
It won't happen again. I built an electronic scanner that allows me to track anything moving through the city faster than 200 miles.
Number 2. Deadly Nightshade. What's this? A new Nightshade in Central City? I thought that Dr. Powell retired from the legacy of being Nightshade. What is this? What's even worse is that this Nightshade is nothing like Dr. Powell, who used tranquilizers to basically put people to sleep, like DC Sandman. This Nightshade will kill you. As the mystery will only be let afoot to Desmond Powell and Barry Allen to figure out who exactly is this new deadly Nightshade. It was nice to have Jason Bernard return, and his relationship with John Wesley Shipp in this series, God bless him, because I love their relationship together. This episode is also great for teaching us the consequences that come to being a hero, including having a secret identity which is later on exposed to everyone. As sometimes having a secret identity can be a superhero downfall, and in this case, it was sincerely the downfall of Dr. Desmond Powell. As this episode shows us the consequences of being a hero and the consequences that it can have, including inspiring just the wrong amount of people sometimes. It has a fantastic story with a great and substantial cast alongside it. Deadly Nightshade is one of my favorite episodes, but not my most favorite. Which has you all probably wondering and asking the same question, just what is your favorite The Flash 90's series episode?
Which is crazy. The original Nightshade takes down Bohannon Sr. Now Junior wants to become you.
What puzzles me is
And my number 1 favorite episode of the 90's Flash series is The Trickster. There's a new villain in Central City known only as James Jesse, who just so happens to be a little crazy, psychotic. What's the right word we would use? As it is Valentine's Day, James Jesse just happens to have an unfortunate predicament when it comes to new girlfriends. In fact, he even tries to shop them up until he finds the Flash. Obsessed with the Scarlet Speedster, the Trickster will do nothing except in his own power to stop him, as that's what he does. And this is a great origin for the Trickster, so much so that it reminds me of Batman the Animated Series and how that basically remade Batman's arch nemesis. And while the Flash is not Batman's enemy, I do have to admit that Mark Hamill was the perfect casting choice to play the Trickster. As nobody, and I repeat, nobody could capture Mark's intense acting, and also the way that he can somehow capture the crazy side of crazy people. What really made this episode, aside from the brilliant writing and the brilliant directing, I believe is the magic behind Mark Hamill, who really does an all-out stellar performance. Now, I'm not really big on the Flash, but if there are Flash fans that say that Trickster is basically Flash's Joker, I would very much believe you. As this is, without a doubt, the greatest Flash episode ever, and again, it has to do with the stellar performance of Mark Hamill, who really stole the show, as the Trickster is my favorite Flash episode.
you'll regret this. Get him out of here.
I don't know, Murph. I feel like a fool.
as that will do it, my friends. That is my top 10 favorite The Flash 90 series episodes, and this is the one with John Wesley's ship, in case that anybody is wondering. And if you want to check out my review of the 90s Flash series, I will pin it in the comments down below, so you guys can go and find that episode and just give it a watch through and see if it still intrigues you. Like, if this top 10 isn't enough, then be sure to check out my review in the comments down below. Again, I will pin it. So, happy Valentine's Day to all my lovely fans and all my lovely subscribers, and also lovely and beautiful friends out there in the world. And thank you so much for watching. I promise that at some Valentine's Day, at some point in the future, I will talk about like my favorite Disney couples or whatever. Yes, maybe we should do that some year. Well, either way, we'll just have to work on it as the years go by. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And if you're a fan of the John Wesley Ship Flash series, then tell me what your favorite episode is in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your feedback. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Lazy Universe, I'm White Nudie. This has been a Lazy Universe Top 10. And as always, thanks for watching.